Hi, good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Saraya Mia. Investigation and wreckage recovery efforts have resumed for the Beechcraft 390 aircraft that crashed near Shah Alam last week. A team of investigators from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, Federal Aviation Administration, and the aircraft manufacturer arrived at the crash site this morning. The team of 12 people arrived in Malaysia on Sunday morning and will be at the site for the next 7 to 10 days. The rest of the wreckage of the aircraft was also expected to be removed today, with all evidence to be brought to a hangar for further analysis. The plane crashed near Almina Shah Alam on August 17th during its approach into Subang Airport from Langkawi. The incident killed 6 passengers and 2 crew on board, as well as 2 civilians on the ground. Meanwhile, the cockpit voice recorder CVR of the aircraft has been sent to Singapore for analysis. Transport Minister Anthony Loke says the Malaysian Air Accident Investigation Bureau faced challenges in retrieving data from the burnt CVR, but found that its memory puck was still intact.
Oleh sebab kita tak ada peralatan untuk retrieve data tersebut, data record tersebut. Jadi memory puck tersebut telah pun dihantar ke Singapura pada hari Ahad yang lalu.
Look said experts in Singapore would focus on retrieving data from the final 30 minutes captured in the memory puck before the crash occurred. He added that a preliminary investigation report on the crash would be released within a month. He also explained that the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board was assisting in the probe as the aircraft was registered in the U.S. A vacancy notice for the Pelangai State seat in Pahang has been submitted to the Election Commission EC following the death of its assembly person, Datuk Sri Johari Harun. Pahang EC Director, Datuk Zamri Hamli, says a meeting to discuss the vacancy will be held within a week. There are 16,475 registered voters in Pelangai as of May 2023. 53-year-old Johari was among the 10 victims of the August 17th plane crash at Almina Shah Alam. He was a first-term assemblyman who also served as a state local government, housing, environment and green technology committee chairman. Johari had won the Pelangai state seat in the 15th general elections with a 4,048 vote majority, following a four-cornered fight. In other news, Datuk Sri Amiruddin Shahri was sworn in as the state's Menteri Besar for a second term. 10 assembly persons in the Selangor State Executive Council were also sworn in today. 4 of them are from DAP, 3 from PKR, 2 from Amanah and 1 from UMNO. The EXCO lineup included Eng Zihan, Eng Swee Lim, V. Paparaidu and Jamaliah Jamaluddin from DAP, while Borhan Aman Shah, Fahmi Ngah and Najwan Halimi are from PKR. Meanwhile, Amanah is represented by Izham Hashim and Anfal Sa'ri, while Datuk Rizam Ismail is the sole UMNO assembly person in the EXCO lineup. Amiruddin said the portfolios will be announced on Wednesday after the first EXCO meeting. Pakatan Harapan won 32 out of 56 seats in the Selangor state elections, while Barisan Nasional won 2, forming a simple majority to form the state government. Recently, a 37-year-old man was the first to be charged under the Anti-stalking Act after being accused of stalking a woman across continents for 8 years. While the law is proven to be an important first step, Abhinaya Divya of Women's Aid Organization discusses ways to better protect survivors of stalking.
This law is actually a very, very important first step. And for now, it is sufficient in the sense that we are hoping that the police and the government are actually recording data and statistics on the number of cases that are being reported, because only with this can we actually see the trend of where the issues really lie with survivors coming up to speak or to make a report, where the challenges are, the obstacles are for them when they make the report. But this is a very, very important first step, because all this while, a lot of survivors couldn't even make a report if it didn't involve physical harm. However, there have been requests even in the past when the law was being drafted, and we hope that there will be some consideration that these protection orders be extended so that it goes past the investigation and trial period, so that if needed, the courts can decide that the survivor can have a protection order that lasts maybe 3 or 6 months. to actually effectively protect the survivor.
While the recent case has gone viral, prompting action from authorities, there are many other victims fighting in silence. Abhinaya advises for them to reach out to relevant NGOs to help build their case against their perpetrators.
The reality of the situation is not all survivors want to actually go public with their case. In fact, survivors of stalking have really high repercussion for going public, especially if they're online. A lot of them have actually been pushed out of online spaces if they have been impacted by online digital stalking, which very often happens in tandem with physical stalking or tracking, etc. But what we highly recommend is, firstly, reach out to organizations such as WAO, other organizations, Talian Kasih, to get help and assistance on how to build your case. The first thing that's very important is for survivors to actually document their experiences, to create a timeline of evidence, particularly evidence that is post 31st of May this year, because that is the evidence that their case will be based on.
According to Abhinaya, for the anti-stalking law to be effective, the police need to be trained to better recognize and deal with such cases. She says it's important that all victims are taken seriously so that they are not deterred from reporting in the future.
There is a definite need for training of frontliners, particularly the police, because it's a new law, and it's going to be, people all over Malaysia are going to be reporting cases of stalking. So, I think the government needs to focus, and also with the help of NGOs and other organizations, focus on training the police to actually look at it as a criminal act. We've had some cases of survivors who have reported or gone to the police station and they've been told that it's not a crime, so they can't do anything about it. So that's been a big issue. And then, of course, we counter it with, well, actually, it's a crime. We give the relevant evidence, etc. And so we need training and implementation of SOPs, for example, immediately. We also need to train the police force to be gender sensitive. So it's very important that when they go to the police station, they're not being told that, oh, this is just this person is interested in you, and so they're trying their luck, or they're just following you around because you're attractive. Those kind of statements can really deter survivors from trying to seek support and seek assistance, because effectively that means the police, in some instances, not all of them, are not aware of the sort of fear and the harm that can be caused through stalking.
She also urges the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission to produce a comprehensive guide to protecting the online space from stalkers.
There's actually very real harm in stalking, and there also needs to be very comprehensive laws and guidelines around stalking for the online space. So through MCMC, through the Ministry of Communications and Digital, need to really look at how to track perpetrators who may open multiple accounts and then delete them and block them, because there's very little you can do in the online space. You can block an account or you can report an account, but it doesn't necessarily mean that account will be taken down.
We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned.
If this is the finish line, don't grow.
Fast X. See and stream on demand atau sila ke saluran 480.
Welcome back. On the international front, Thailand's self-exiled former Prime Minister Thaksin return to the country was not politically motivated. This is according to his daughter, Paetongtarn Shinawat, from Pheu Thai, the party currently seeking to lead the formation of Thailand's next government. Thaksin is expected to return to Thailand on Tuesday, the same day a joint sitting of the bicameral parliament will vote for a new premier. Paetongtarn, who was one of Pheu Thai's 3 prime ministerial candidates, said Thaksin wanted to return due to family reasons after being away for more than 15 years. Thaksin, who served as prime minister from 2001 to 2006, has been living in exile since 2008 after his government was ousted in a military coup. According to Paetongtarn, Thaksin had yet to apply for a royal pardon for the charges levied against him. Meanwhile, according to Thai political analyst Punchada Sirivunabot, Thaksin Shinawat's return to Thailand is related to the country's politics. She believes the former premier is able to openly announce his return to the kingdom because of negotiations carried out with the pro-military political parties.
Thaksin is coming back. He's announced by his daughter that he's coming back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It's really related to how the political party going to vote for Sethar as a prime minister tomorrow. So it's Thaksin has played a significant role in Thailand for a really long time, almost 20 years. So I think whatever he's gonna do, he's moving back or whatever is really related to Thai politics, and also is related to the prime minister selections tomorrow. I think Thaksin and his parties already do something with the pro-military and the political party and the conservative side. So then that's why they are brave enough for the party and his family to announce his return to Thailand tomorrow.
Meanwhile, when asked about the confirmation vote tomorrow for Pheu Thai's prime ministerial candidate, Sethar Thavisin, Punchada said that the party must focus on winning the Senate's votes.
It's not going to be a problem with Pheu Thai because I think they already knows that move forward might not work for them for the prime minister. So then that's why Pheu Thai is already seek for support from other political parties. And they, include about 11 political parties. So I don't think that Pheu Thai has to worry that much on how whether or not move forward will work for them, but they have to worry whether the senators are going to vote for them tomorrow.
The party on Monday unveiled an 11-party alliance that includes some military-linked rivals that will try to form a coalition government this week. The alliance comprises 314 lawmakers, and Sethar needs 375 votes from the combined upper and lower houses to be endorsed as premier. Over in the United States, Tropical Storm Hillary has hit Southern California after making landfall in Mexico on Sunday and killing at least 1 person. San Diego is set to face the storm before it moves on to Los Angeles, where over 9 million people are under flash flood warnings. Hillary is forecast to continue to move north through California before dissipating over central Nevada. The National Weather Service warned of potentially historic amounts of rainfall along the way that could trigger more floods and landslides. As California experienced the worst of the storm on Sunday, a local emergency was declared in Palm Springs, while a magnitude 5.1 earthquake also struck Ventura County. There were no immediate reports of significant damage from the quake, but more aftershocks are expected in the coming days. In the UK, nurse Lucy Letby has been sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole after being found guilty of murdering 7 infants. The 33-year-old was also convicted of attempting to kill 6 other babies, making her the UK's most prolific child serial killer in modern times. Letby did not appear in court for the hearing, and her legal team said she did not wish to follow proceedings via video link from prison. She had deliberately injected infants with air, overfed them with milk, and poisoned them with insulin between June 2015 and June 2016. Her refusal to attend court has led to renewed calls in the UK for a new law to make it mandatory for convicted criminals to attend court for sentencing hearings. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak confirmed his government was also looking at changing the law in the near future. Letby's trial had lasted more than 10 months, the longest murder trial in the UK. That wraps up AWANI Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Saraya Mia, and good night.